Hey class, I would like to make this assignment as painless as possible. So here's my try to do so. At the top of the page, we've got 500 words. At the bottom of the page, we have MLA bibliography. And there you go. That's what you got to do. So I would try to use structure to help me. So I would start with my introduction. And down at the bottom, I would put my conclusion to make sure that I had done a nice job of wrapping up the significance of this conversation. In my introduction, like all good introductions, I would like to start by identifying a problem that is worth having and articulating as well the position I'm taking in the argument, which is what a thesis statement is. So in my introduction, I'm going to identify a problem that is worth the discussion and identify the two characters who are having it, identify a problem, and two characters. The bringing together of which is going to produce some firework or point of significance. Some point of significance. All right, let me delete that a little bit. Then I'm going to use paragraphs 1 and 2 to establish the context of each character first, and then the grounds for this fantastical meeting. So if you begin by articulating where is, let's say you were using Code of Hammurabi. So where is Hammurabi? What kind of century are we talking about? What place on earth? And then what brings him into a conversation with, well, first, then we want to go from Hammurabi. You describe his place in time and his text, and then you would describe Aquinas, his place in time in text, and having established that accurate ground, then get fantastic. Then they meet in space in Star Trek 8, the nextest reverse of generations, or something like that. Or maybe they both end up in heaven and they're trying to figure out which heaven it is. But you get to be fantastical after establishing your knowledge of the two characters. All right, then you get to construct your dialogue between the two characters. Again, use structure to help you. You're going to use 3 points. You want them each to address 3 points. So you line out point 1, Hammurabi's position, Aquinas' position. Point 2, do you see how structure will help make this easier? So you're going to structure dialogue between two characters, drawing, let's turn that into a comma, drawing quotations from the texts to substantiate the authenticity of their voice as you are employing it. All right, so let's say that you were clever enough to write summaries of each of these texts. And from those summaries, you have subheadings, and you can clearly and easily identify for yourself, these were the key points of the text. But let's say you took that additional step that Hacker describes, and you wrote yourself an analysis of the significant, maybe the top 3 points of significance of the Code of Hammurabi, and you've got yourself down to the top 3 points of significance in Aquinas. And you can bring those notes together to say, oh my goodness, punishment. I want to look at punishment in both of these guys. I want to look at divinity. And I want to look at, see, natural order would be a little hard there, wouldn't it? But do you see how if you have done this kind of summary followed by analysis, you're going to, by just bringing these two documents next to each other, you're going to start seeing points of either dissonance, like a real point of friction between the two, or echoes of resonance. And you're going to be able to zero right in on the 2 or 3 points that you're going to have them discuss and the quotations that you will then draw on. In your conclusion, you might clarify who you think won or lost the debate, the dialogue, or you will let me know why what you did was of interest to a person learning the history. If you've ever watched great rap battles of history, you know that I have a twisted sense of humor, and I think there's plenty of room for creativity here. The only time the great rap battles are funny is when they're accurate and great depictions of the characters involved. Same thing here. I hope you have some fun with it. Thanks for listening.